Donald Trump was elected president, and as a result of that, he's doing what he said he would do. He's doing what he campaigned to do, which includes appointing the wealthiest man in human history to run the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, a department that is literally called the Department of Government Efficiency. I don't think the purpose of the department could be any more clear, but there seems to be a whole lot of confusion on the left about what this department does. I'm not sure what Democrats thought this department would be doing. A department called the Department of Government Efficiency. What did they think it was going to do? And why are they so afraid of government efficiency? The Biden administration hired thousands of IRS agents over 4 years to audit the American people, to audit you, to clean the American people out, to suck the American taxpayers dry for all of their little pet projects, like a trans comic book in the nation of Peru, where Superman has a relationship with a man. Why we think that's important, I have no idea. But all of this would have continued if Donald Trump didn't win the election 3 months ago today. In fact, all of this would have gotten worse because Democrats have no problem auditing you, the American people. They have no problem forcing you to open your books. But when Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency asks them to do the same thing, Democrats suddenly claim they're at war.
God shut down the Senate. We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war.
So we're apparently now at war as well. This while our national debt is now over $36 trillion. Maybe we're a little bit overdue for some government efficiency. Maybe we should declare war on a government that hasn't been efficient since before FDR. So what are Democrats so upset about? It kind of makes you think that they're hiding something, doesn't it? It kind of makes you think that they have been hiding a whole lot from the American people for a long time. That would be the only logical explanation for why an elected member of Congress would claim that Elon Musk is a Nazi Nepo baby.
With unprecedented organizing, mobilizing, agitating, we will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi Nepo baby.
That's very nice. Back to the Nazi stuff, too. It worked so well for you before the election. What a disgusting thing to say. That was Massachusetts Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley there. From the Babylon Bee today, Democrats warn that Trump's unelected shadow government is dismantling their unelected shadow government, which, although is satire, in the land of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, satire is typically truth. The Democrat Party, blinded by wokeness and years of bad ideas from extremely average people, now find themselves in an almost un-American position of protesting a program designed to save Americans money. Think about that for a moment. The Department of Government Efficiency was literally created to fix inefficiencies in the federal government and save Americans money, meaning once again Democrats have put themselves in a position to fight against common sense.
We will fight their violation of civil service laws. We will fight their violation of civil rights laws. We will fight their violations of separation of powers. We will fight their violations of our Constitution of the United States of America.
Seriously, can you imagine yelling like that about anything? And while they're doing that, while they're using the exact same language they told us Donald Trump was going to use, imagine for just one moment Caroline Leavitt's press briefing and what that would look like today if Donald Trump stated those exact same words and asked millions of his supporters to descend on Washington, because that's what the very junior senator in Massachusetts did, junior in all possible ways. This is Ed Markey.
This is the time when we have to stand up and to fight, to not stand on the sidelines, to have people by the millions are going to have to stand up and protest. When we come back here the next time, there should be hundreds of thousands and millions of people descending on Washington, D.C.
Used to be an ice cream salesman, Ed Markey. Can you imagine that? Once again, on the surface, none of that makes any sense. Why would anyone elected to represent Americans, Democrats and Republicans, be so upset in an almost childish way with someone coming in and cleaning up spending in the federal government? The answer is simple. They know, Democrats know, the grift is finally up and that none of the programs that are being cut are Republican programs. Seriously, every single program, dozens and dozens, are all Democrat programs. And that list of the absolutely absurd just keeps getting longer every single day.
I would just say a strong message to Democrats who are out there pretending to be outraged about the long list of crap that this administration is cutting, federal waste and funding, like $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. I could go on, and I'm happy to provide this list to every single one of you.
She did, and I'm going to do that. But funding for each one of those programs that she just mentioned has now been terminated. And dozens of other Democratic programs that have been slipped into USAID for the last several years that the American people had no idea they were paying for, like $2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala, $30 million to study AIDS among sex workers and trans people in South Africa, $2 million for Moroccan pottery programs. Moroccan pottery is, I'm sure, lovely. Do we need to be spending $2 million so they can do their pottery? Programs to send Ukrainian fashion students to Paris Fashion Week. $1.5 million for DEI programs in Serbia. Do you know where Serbia is? I had to look it up. I didn't. $70,000 for a DEI musical in Ireland. Again, I'm Irish. I don't know what that would be like. $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. The casting call would take weeks to cast these things, right? $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $15 million for condoms in Afghanistan, $1 million to help disabled people in Tajikistan become climate leaders. Now that one really got me. You know, Tajikistan, which is right near Afghanistan and Pakistan and Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Something tells me that the good people of Tajikistan are not that concerned with the climate. All of these programs were started by Democrats and were run by Democrats for years, and now, as Trump derangement syndrome morphs into Doge derangement syndrome, all of these programs are being terminated immediately. 2 million employees in the federal government.
Overwhelmingly, the career federal service in this country is far left wing. I don't know that to be a fact. Well, I'll give you a great example. We looked at USAID as an example. That's 98% of the workforce either donated to Kamala Harris or another left-wing candidate, just as an example. Okay, but let me just an entire workforce is having a whoa. Did you just say that saying someone voted for Kamala Harris is demonizing them?
Okay, Doge, I think for some people at first was difficult to understand. It was like tariffs. Here it is. Here's Doge. You ever been on a work trip? Okay, you're out to dinner with colleagues, and you know that your boss or your company is paying. When it's somebody else's money, you're probably more likely to order an appetizer, right? I am. You know what? I will have the buffalo tenders. Thank you. Now imagine that over 50 years. But you're not just getting the buffalo tenders for yourself. You're now ordering buffalo tenders for the people of Guatemala and Afghanistan too, and Tajikistan. That's what the Democrats have been doing for 50 years. And Donald Trump is shaking that up. He's shaking up the status quo in Washington. And every single time I think the Democrats might be pulling out of the soup, might be pulling it together, might be ready to redeem themselves, they're ready to be a real party again, they turn around and they do what they've always done, which is very little.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.